Welcome to Dark Tales, where we explore eerie stories and chilling mysteries. So, today's topic is a bit different from anything I've done before. We're diving into urban legends, but I'm not here to tell you made-up ghost stories. These are real-life creepy tales where the truth is actually more terrifying than fiction. Let's dig into some of these urban legends that turned out to be true, from haunting figures on midnight roads to terrifying hotel discoveries. Let's jump in, and be warned, these stories might just keep you up tonight. All right, so the first story is about Charlie No-Face. And if you grew up around Pennsylvania, you might have heard of him. It's this tale about a faceless guy who supposedly roams the roads at night. Just picture it. You're driving down a dark road, and suddenly there's this guy, no face, staring into the void. I know it sounds like classic horror movie stuff, but here's where things get freaky. Charlie No-Face isn't just a creepy myth. He was a real person named Raymond Robinson. Raymond's story is pretty tragic, actually. When he was a kid, he tried climbing a utility pole to get a closer look at some birds and ended up hitting the power lines, which disfigured him completely. His face was so severely injured that he didn't have recognizable facial features anymore. From then on, he would only go out at night to avoid the stares and reactions from others. Imagine how lonely he must have felt, but also how terrifying it would be to see him walking down a dark road, especially if you didn't know his story. People started calling him Charlie No-Face and making up all sorts of tales about him. So if you're ever in Pennsylvania and happen to see a figure roaming the streets at night, well, maybe give a second thought to what or who it could be. Next up, we have Bloody Mary, and I'm sure you guys have heard of this one. As a kid, did you ever try saying Bloody Mary 3 times in front of a mirror at midnight? I know I didn't. Just the idea creeped me out. Supposedly, if you do it right, she appears behind you. And believe it or not, some people actually claim they saw a figure in the mirror during this challenge. So here's what's actually going on, and it's almost as weird as the legend itself. It's called identity dissociation, which is a fancy way of saying your brain messes with your reflection in low light. When you're in a dark room with just a candle or dim light, your brain struggles to process the shadowed parts of your face in the mirror. So instead of showing you exactly what you look like, it fills in the gaps, sometimes with a distorted, ghostly version of your face. If you're already thinking about Bloody Mary, then your brain might even create an image of her in your reflection. Creepy, right? Your own mind can play tricks on you, maybe even summon a ghost if it wants to. So next time you're feeling brave in front of a mirror, remember, it's probably just you, or maybe not. Okay, let's talk about a fear that goes way, way back, being buried alive. It's a horrifying thought, right? Imagine waking up and realizing you're 6 feet under. Luckily, this is rare today, but back in the Middle Ages, this was a genuine risk because medicine wasn't advanced enough to always confirm death accurately. In fact, when archaeologists studied graves from this period, they found scratch marks inside hundreds of coffins. Think about that for a second. Hundreds of people buried, clawing to get out. Some weren't actually dead when they were buried. They were in deep comas or states of unconsciousness, only to wake up too late. And that's how we got safety coffins, with bells that let people signal for help if they found themselves, well, in that unfortunate situation. You might still see these bells in really old cemeteries. So if you ever hear one ring, maybe don't stick around too long. This one is seriously creepy. It's about finding bodies under hotel beds, and yes, it's as disturbing as it sounds. There are real cases, especially in places like the infamous Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, where people have checked into a room only to find out later that there was a body decaying under their bed. Imagine going to sleep only to notice a foul odor creeping up from somewhere in the room. The smell just doesn't go away, and you keep wondering if something's wrong. Eventually, someone decides to check under the bed, and there it is. The worst part? This has happened more than once, not just in creepy old hotels, but in regular ones across the US and even in other countries. So next time you're in a hotel and Notice a strange smell? Maybe double check under the bed. You know, just in case. All right, last one. And it's a bit more on the gross side, but it's definitely one of those can't stop listening stories. This happened to a woman who came back from Brazil. Soon after she got home, she started hearing strange noises in her ear. I'm talking about whispering, buzzing, rustling sounds. Just the thought of it is enough to make you shiver, right? Turns out, when she finally went to the hospital, doctors found maggots inside her ear. A special type of fly native to Brazil had laid its eggs in her ear canal, and these little creatures were literally eating their way through her ear. If she hadn't gone to the doctor, they would have continued into her brain. I can't even imagine the feeling of having something alive in your ear. So, word of advice, if you're ever hearing strange noises that don't go away, maybe get it checked out. And there you have it, 5 urban legends that are, unfortunately, all too real. It's wild how some of the creepiest tales actually come from real events. If this gave you chills or if you're rethinking your next hotel stay, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into dark tales from around the world. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and maybe keep a light on tonight.